can see that.
All right, everybody, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to One Objective. Guys, we have got, I know we say this every time, we got a really great show for tonight, but I think we got all our sound issues worked out finally. So that's why I think it's going to be a really great show tonight. But James, how you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
Oh man, it's been one hell of a day, really. Kind of getting getting this show stuff straight and trying to work out the bugs. Been working on it for a couple of weeks. Me, Chris, and all of us as a team. So, guys, if you have any sound issues, I've tried to adjust the gain on my mic to get my mic up. And so if you're listening live, let us know. Type in something. You know, hey, this needs to be adjusted. We'll do the best we can during the show, but we'll try to get it better for next time. So, anyways, we got a great show lined up. We got Jeff Fader and Cody Milton coming on. They won the Invitational down in Florida. And correct me if I say it wrong, Bonneville. How do you say it? Where do they fish at, James?
I think it's Bonneville Plantation.
Yeah, there we go. But and I'm not exactly sure how the format worked out because Cody Milton won and Jeff Fader won, so I'm not too sure on how the format worked on that. I wasn't able to kind of keep up with that part on how it worked going into it. So we're going to get them on and get them explaining it to us. But all of y'all know Cody Milton. We've had him on. This will be his third time coming on. He won this event. Was it last year or year before? I can't remember which one it was when we had him on. Then he won AOI this year, well, for the 2018. And then he won again down there. So, guys, you're going to hear a lot about this guy for a long time. I mean, he's in it to win it, and he's a heck of an angler. But we got big news for this week with 2 new sponsors. We actually said something about Biono Power last week about coming on board with OneObjective, but we also picked up another one with Hookfish Performance. So make sure you guys go check them out. There are 2 other sponsors that's come on with OneObjective this year, along with other sponsors that we have, really great sponsors with Bonafide and Falcon and Yak Attack, Missile Baits, Parapole, AccuCoal, which I got a video coming up here shortly for AccuCoal and this. We talked about this the other week, one of our shows. Here, Chris, you got it? Oh, man, that was a perfect throw. But Chris will be showing that off. But I just got everything straight with that to get the videos up.
Oh, yes, so, the hand model.
Yeah, look at that. There
Beautiful.
You go. God, he does really good.
Pull that thing, would you?
Yeah. Woo, boy. All right. But we got Ray Marine. Guys, we got some really great sponsors. They've really helped us out a lot in the last several years and more to come. So, got some goodies coming to mail, James. I know you got something. Tell us a little bit about what you got in the mail the other day.
I got the new cam straps from Yak Attack.
Nice.
I got the 15-foot ones. Yeah, I can't wait to put these things on my kayak trailer and strap that thing down.
Ooh, that's what I'm saying.
I know you got some goodies too.
Yeah. I got the Yak Attack battery power kit here. This is the Naqua. Yak Attack and Naqa's teamed up, and they've got a really good. If you want to run some lights on your boat or whatnot, you don't want to carry another battery, something that's easy to plug in and take off real quick. Here you go, Chris. You might come over and grab that. I ain't gonna throw it. But they got a really great kit. And so when it comes down to battery options, I would go and check out Yak Attack and Biono Power, depending on what you want to run. They both got some really great options for what you want to run on the boat. And James, I'm going to be coming down there this week, this Friday. We're going to be putting some goodies on my boat and on your boat and getting them ready for national championship. So,
yep, I got things ready for you.
That's right. I'm excited. I'm excited just to share a video with everybody about what we've been working on, what we've been kind of secretive about, what we couldn't talk about in some of the shows. So I'm really excited to get all that, get some footage on that. But We do want to apologize for the lack of footage we've been putting up except for the shows, but it's kind of been an off time for us with getting everything ready for National Championship. I know we've talked about it in several shows, and it's just been a busy time with getting sponsors straight for the year and all that, but I can promise you I got a video that's going to be coming up, ready first thing in the morning. It will be on the AccuCoil fish tether. Also, another goodie I got in, which is a Yellow Tech camera mount. It's for like if you got a bass boat. For me, I'm going to have to, I got another kit that for like a bow light. But you put this in, it's got a wire that'll come up and go into your GoPro. I also have a light that can go on there, so if I want to film some at nighttime, if I hang on at nighttime, I can cut the light on. But this right here, this is going to be running the whole time we're on the water. James, you're guaranteed to get one. Yep. We're going to be filming our whole entire day. So we got a big enough memory card now. We got GoPro stuff. We got power to everything thanks to our sponsors. We're going to be filming everything. So every tournament we do with the Chris, let's get that schedule up there too, with the Virginia Kayak Bass Challenge, which is scheduled right here. So everything we fish with them, it'll be recorded. So we got a lot of footage coming up this year, James. I'm really excited about what 2019 holds for OneObjective.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to get started. Like you said, I can't wait to get my Yellow Tech thing mounted on my kayak. That's pretty much my last thing.
Yeah. Now it's just tackle, you know?
Yeah, tackle prep.
Yeah. Cleaning reels, getting reels ready, changing line. We got some top secret baits on the way. Got some in already.
Yep.
We shared a picture on there from 6 Cents on our Instagram. But as you notice, we did not share what the baits were. You'll see those after the national championship. But keep that secret out there for a little while. But we do, like I say, we do got a really good show lined up for tonight. I do want to, for one more thing, congratulate Rick Clunn on winning the first Bassmaster Elite Series of 2019. Man, fishing has no age limit. You know what I mean? I mean, that man is 70 years old and then won an elite event. So, I mean, it's just awesome to see Rick Clunn. Rick Clunn was the man back in his heyday. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's still kind of in his heyday if you want to.
Crankbait king.
Yeah. I mean, and to see him get another win at his age, and it's hard. It's hard to be out there on the water running nonstop. Especially for them, they're going a week straight from practice to the end of the tournament. He's going non-stop, you know? So it's hard. It's hard on young guys to do it like that. So for Rick Clunn to be able to do it, hang in there. And there was some big fish caught today on Bass Live. I mean, all week long. But today, man, John Cruz, he hammered them. What did he have, James? 35?
31 something.
Yeah, that's right. 31 pounds.
And Clunn had 34 something, almost 35.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, they were hammering fish, and it's just fun to watch. I'm excited about going south this year fishing in Louisiana, and I know it probably won't be as great as that, but it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to be down there right now probably.
Yeah. So, getting really excited about that. So, anyways, Chris, what time do we got? 9:09. Let's go ahead and call Jeff and get him on, and we're going to talk about how the Tentacle went for him. But anyways, while Chris is getting all that ready, guys, if you are in the Virginia area and you're looking to get into a kayak bass series, check out Virginia Kayak Bass Challenge. You can go in and get with Casey Reed. You can go in and get with Brandon Overstreet, and they'll get you set up and get you ready to go. So we got Jeff on. Chris, you got his picture up yet? He's getting there. All right. Hang with us 1 second, Jeff. We'll get you here in just a second. But, yeah, go check out. Whew, what in the world was that? We're getting him on there.
Goodness.
There we go. We should have him here. All right, Jeff, you got us, bud?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, yeah, it sounds a little blocky. Make sure you got your camera on, bud. I don't know if you got your camera on or not, or.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. All
right. For some reason, Skype's acting a little crazy, but we'll get James in the picture there, and then
there we go. What was that?
Oh, there we go. There you go. Oh yeah, we got you there. All right. Well, yeah, we're getting you on, man. Slowly but surely, we're getting you there. It's getting a few things, but anyways, Jeff, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. I know that you've been busy talking, as you would say, you had somebody else you was talking to today for an outdoor segment. So has it hit you? You won, and it's just starting to get busy now.
Yeah, but it's all fun. Just having a great time with it. Hopefully the success continues, I guess.
Yeah. Just kind of ride the wave while you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Putting it together, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Let's talk a little bit about the Tentacle, because I wasn't able to follow much of what it was this year. Cody Milton won part of it. You won a part of it. How did all that? How did the Tentacle actually work when you got down there from the tournament start?
Sure. The Invitational, you got to finish in the top 3 in KBF events throughout the country, and then you got the invite to come out. I think there was like 65 or so of us out there. And what it was the first 2 days of the event, Wednesday and Thursday, was the Invitational. And what that was, we duked it out on the water. The top 10 guys as well, those 10 qualifiers, they also participated in the Invitational. And what it was they were trying to keep us from winning and coming into the 10, and we were all vying for that spot to compete in the 10. So the winner of that Invitational, in turn, went and competed in the 10. So.
And you won. You won that part.
Correct.
Yeah. So kind of tell us.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about getting down there and how your practice went. Now, did you get much time practicing on that body of water?
0 time to practice. There was no pre-fishing allowed.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So that makes it even more interesting.
Sure. I honestly picked my spot where I was going to go right there at the ramp about 20 minutes before launch. I had about 30 minutes to spare. I was getting ready to shove off, and just kind of picked it last second and honestly went right straight to it. So we got a ride around the night before, prior to the meeting and the captain's meeting and such. So we got to ride around the lake, kind of scope it out. But it was only for launches where we might want to go, so we weren't allowed on the water at all. So. Oh,
wow. Yeah, that's yeah, you don't know you don't know what you're about to get into when you put in.
Yeah. So it was interesting. A lot of people we shove off at 7, and fishing was at 7. So a lot of people had veered off and they started casting, and I just took off. I knew where I wanted to go. Fortunately, it worked out for me, and I pretty much stayed there all day.
Now, did you start catching fish earlier, or was it something that took them a little while to start getting fish in the boat?
Okay, when I went right straight there, second cast in, I caught a 22 1/4.
Wow!
I knew I had found a special spot, So there was actually a trick to it, though. Day one, they were on fire, and it was just every ounce of will to not just blast the hole, blast the spot, and just overfish it. And I really reserved myself, and I was taking like 40 minutes in between casts, really siphoning through the fish. I found a pecking order of those fish and really started just picking out the big ones and leaving the hole to rest. And the last 2 hours of day one, I didn't even throw a cast. I just sat on the spot to protect it because I knew I had to save it for the next day.
Yeah.
Day event. So little strategy to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something people don't understand, on the outside of the tournament side is the strategy that's involved in just preserving those spots, especially on a several-day event. You got to be able to – you can't catch everything it's biting. You got to be able to catch them, get what you think you need, and then save the rest.
Absolutely.
So what was kind of the key baits for you for that event? I mean, I hear a lot of Alabama rigs. Was that
right?
Was that big for you too?
I caught 2 in the Invitational. I caught 2 on the Alabama rig. And it was just a run-of-the-mill Alabama rig. What was key for me was a hog farmer bait. It was a hog wobbler. And let's see here. That was this here. I don't know if you can see. I can't see myself. So this here, basically a scrounger style head.
Oh, yeah.
And blue gizzard shad. And you can see I actually put a little bit of a marker on there just to kind of give it a little more of the shad profile that they were biting on.
Yeah.
But that's what I caught the majority of them on. I caught a lot of my quality ones on that bait.
Wow.
It was a little bit different, but you know, I mean, I had to, again, with the same hole, fishing it, you know, all day. Even though I was taking some breaks in between, I was presenting different things. The A rig, I did catch, I think, 2 or 3 on a Strike King KBD J300 jerk bait. But you know, like I say, the majority were that bait there, that hog farmers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm starting to see more and more people use those baits and starting to see more and more success with those baits. I remember Aaron Martin's had kind of a scrounger head bait that he come out with years ago that he was starting to produce, and you see people use them, and now you see other companies coming out with that kind of bait, and I think that's a technique that's slowly starting to take off with the, you know, with other fishermen.
Yeah, there was no weeds here, so it was a break. It was a 3-foot shelf, basically went from 3 foot to 8 foot. And it was weird. It was weird, the approach, because I went at it as anyone else would. You would throw into the shallow, come off the ledge, and they would tack it that way, and I never got a bite. So I literally had to 180 and go up into the channel and cast into the deep and bring it up over them that way. But as soon as it would hit that ledge, as soon as it would hit that berm, they were attacking it.
Yeah. So they were kind of in that pre-spawn. They started coming up spawn. Did y'all see any on beds yet, or they were kind of in that pre-spawn?
I personally didn't. Yeah, I personally didn't. It was pretty cold. I mean, it was low 30s overnight down there. The majority of the week it was 30s, and then it got into the mid 40s overnight. So I think the last day on Saturday we seen, you know, in the mid 60s. It was a decent day, but it rained all day, you know, on and off. So it wasn't the best weather down in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, because y'all were down there around the same time that the MLF, the Bass Pro Tour guys were, and I know they were. Granted, they were a little further down than you guys, I think, where they were at. But it was tough weather for them guys as well. So that's why I was wondering how it was for you guys.
Sure.
But
I was surprised to get them so aggressive on the reaction bait, but you know, it is what they wanted.
Yeah,
it worked out.
Was you able to try any flipping techniques like in the grass and all that? I mean, was you able to make any of that work?
No, I did not. I did that on day 1 of the 10 because arriving on that lake, right, I drew, by winning the Invitational, I was able to draw for what lake the 10 competition was going to take place on. And, of course, I wanted the 14 because that was the lake I was on. The days, you know, the first day of the 10, the weather was going to be exactly like my first day of the Invitational. So I was pretty excited. I really wanted to draw the Lake 14, but unfortunately I drew Purvis, and a lot of the guys really fished Purvis before. So, you know, I don't want to say they had stake and they claim, you know, areas of the lake, but, you know, as someone coming in and I hadn't been on that water at all, and some of them have been on it already for the first 2 days, and, you know, I'm not going to go rolling up on anyone's spot. So, I just kind of rolled right on through and covered a lot of water on that lake. And I did find myself pitching in some areas and just couldn't get anything to work. Day 1 was really tough.
Yeah. So. Kind of talk about going into your last day with the 10 that you made. How did that bite go for you for that day as well with that bait?
I managed to get a couple. I managed to get I think 2 on the last day. It was funny because there was one area of Lake Purvis that was just loaded with shad, and I'm sure Cody's going to talk about this. But I was given a heads up on where those guys were catching them. Okay, on day 2 of the Invitational, So going into the first day of the 10, I already knew where they were at. And again, it's just not my style. Yeah, I was brand new on the lake, but I launched and I was going over top of a metric ton of shad. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, I wanted to stop so bad. But I knew some people were coming in there, and I respected that, and I left out of there. And then day 2, I was kind of, they were in a big little cove area of those shad, and that's where Cody and Eric Siddiqui had messed around on day 1. And then I kind of hung outside of that. I was jokingly saying, yeah, I'll just pick on scraps that you guys beat up in the cove that have had enough and want to come on out, and I'll just hang out here. And this was later in the day after I've already combed through the lake, and I really just couldn't find any other fish. So I managed to scrounge up 2 more from doing that. And so day 2, going into that last day, as you asked, I knew that's what I wanted to do again, but I was secretly hoping some of those shad would have come out. They pounded the heck out of them on day 1. There was a ton of them in there, though. And sure enough, I got out there on day 1 or day 2 of the 10, and they were loaded up on the outside of the cove. So
yeah,
lo and behold, I was ready to go. And yeah, but it just turned into a really good time, actually. People just kind of came in. We all just had a great time fishing together, and yeah, it was great. But I mixed it up again. But that day I had it really was the scrounger, the hog wobbler and A-rig was the key for the last day of the event. That's caught all of them on.
It looks like it's a good camaraderie when it comes down to the kayak fish. I know there's an article up about everybody sitting on a hole fishing, and just kind of talk about that. I mean, kind of talk about the camaraderie. I mean, you don't see. Was there a lot of, hey man, this is my spot, or did you hear any of that?
Not necessarily. The first 2 days of the Tenvitational, I did have a spot, and I think day 1 I had one gentleman come in, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm right here," and he was like, "No problem," backed off. And of course this is midday, so I don't think anyone really knew how sweet of a spot I had. Day 2, I had a bit more traffic, but again, they were more curious. They were coming in, checking it out, and like, holy cow, this is it, And then they was like, can I fish over here? And I said, just imagine a 30-yard radius right here. That's what I'm throwing into, and just please respect that. And they did. Everybody was really cool about it. So going into the 10, I fished a completely different lake. I had people offering me money for that spot, right? And it was hilarious. Because there were several people that stayed behind, and they were, I shouldn't say stay behind, but it was a 4-day big bass event. So even if they didn't make it into the 10, these guys were able to stick around and fish for big bass, $1,000 a day. So they were gunning for it. So what you saw online was pretty much 12 people sitting on a small little 10-yard hole that held the fish, and they were all slamming them. So it was a really cool story. I mean, I had guys messaging me, thanking me for, one heck of a time, building, a lot of memories and friendships. I mean, all these guys didn't know each other, and now they're all leaving buddies, and they're catching personal bests. And I actually caught a 20.5 on Purvis first thing in the morning, and I tied in a 3-way tie with 2 other guys that were fishing my spot that I fished the first day. So we had to split a big bass check between 3 guys, and they were fishing my spot.
Yeah.
So it was so cool, though. It was a lot of fun, a lot of talk. Yeah, it was great. It was really cool. I couldn't believe, that they still were pulling that much fish out of it. It was incredible.
Yeah, that was a loaded hole. That's one of them holes you wish you could find all the time. It's a once in a lifetime, is what I call.
And it is, and it may produce again in the future, but I'm really certain that it has to be perfect wind. I had a perfect north wind, and it really complemented that. It kind of stirred up some of the water and pushed out some sediment over that ledge, and they just knew the shad were going to be blown out with it, and they were there, and I don't think if the wind was different that it would be the same. I really don't.
Yeah, I understand that. That's James. You want to kind of go into in depth on his tackle setup for what he used for down there?
Yeah. First off, what was the water temp that it was down there?
I didn't have any. For whatever reason, I didn't have any. I went into the event. I'm up here in Michigan, right? My stuff's stored away. So going and driving down to Florida in January is just something that I don't normally do. So I get down there. I didn't have sonar. I didn't have anything. Nothing was working right. I got my sonar, but I didn't have temps. But everybody was saying they were about 53, 54 degrees. So it was pretty chilly for them still. And we all know the Florida strain. They don't like the cold much. So I was quite surprised at how active they actually were.
Yeah. So what rod and reel setups were you using for your Alabama rig and your hog farmer?
Yeah, I got a 7.4 medium heavy Denali lithium. I absolutely love my Denali rods. It's pretty much almost all I run. And I was running that on a lose tournament. I don't know the model number offhand, but that was just a 7-to-1. And the Alabama rig was also on a Denali rod, but a heavy rod. So, and yeah, that's pretty much all I really, the main ones I threw. Like I say, I did catch some on a square bill, but that was, I think, one or two. So
yeah.
The majority was the hog wobbler here, and that was on that 7.4 medium heavy.
Yeah, were you throwing a braid on that?
Nope, straight fluoro.
Oh, what pound test were you using?
14 only.
14,
Something.
even on the Alabama rig?
Yep, 14 sniper. Oh, 14. On the Alabama rig? No, I'm sorry, that was 16 sniper.
Oh, 16.
Yeah.
What was your swim baits that you had on the back of your?
On the
Alabama rig.
Kitech.
Oh, Kitech.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah, that seems to be the go-to bait. Back any type of swim bait. That's what it is.
Yes, I mean they're incredible. So
absolutely. So, Josh, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Oh no, I just think it was good just to kind of get the in-depth side of it, and
I know a lot of people have been asking. Yeah, a lot of people's been asking what it was, having me break it down, and and just in short conversations locally here, I've been able to do that. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are still wanting to know what it was that worked so well. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's
and I know exactly what Cody's going to say he was using too, because I was right there with him. We were sharing water, so it was a good time.
Yeah,
so you'll be able to tell us if he doesn't tell us the truth.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly what he was throwing.
I'll be texting, hey man, is Cody lying? Because I don't know, man. This will be the third time we've had him on the show. I mean, he's had a heck of a year the last, I guess, 2 years, really. Probably more than that, but just since we've been doing the show, just getting him on, he's been a big name that we kind of get in there on it. So, yeah. And I look to see that your name starts popping up more,
Let's hope so.
Yeah. I mean,
I seem to be doing well down south. Like I'm having a good time down in these southern lakes that me up here in the north, I shouldn't really know too much about, but I seem to be putting it together down there. I don't know.
Yeah. Once you figure out something, man, it's hard to, you know what I mean? You just keep running with it.
Yeah.
Are you going to be fishing a bunch of KBF stuff this year?
Yeah, I'm working the central region this year. I'm going to be heading down to Chickamauga here in a week. So I'll be down there for the BOS whole week. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Don't know anything about the lake. I've never been on it. So going to go right into that one kind of blind as well. I might be able to get a day of fishing in there beforehand, but that'll be fun.
What about
Absolutely.
What about the?
Does anyone want to send messages of where to go? Give me some pointers. That'd be cool.
What about the Hobie Opens? What do you think about those? Are you going to try to fish any of that, or?
That's what he's going.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to, jump on as many of those as I can and try to qualify for the Tournament of Champions. And I'm really excited, actually, for that. Hobie has always put on an amazing event there for the Hobie Bass Open there on Kentucky Lake. And I'm really excited to see what they do, just breaking it down and doing a lot more events throughout the year and to see where that goes. I'm pretty excited about that. Obviously I'm associated with Hobie Suit. So,
yeah.
pretty excited. So.
Yeah.
What's your take on the national championship coming to Louisiana? Have you done a whole lot of much homework with that, or?
I couldn't even tell you where the legal lakes are right now. I've literally going into my off season. I have been trying to gather up information, but it's more or less tackle and rigging and boat prepping, and I really should be doing that, and I haven't been able to do too much of that right now. So I will be getting on some homework. I will be looking into it, but I'm excited. I hear it's really good fishery, so it's always fun. I enjoy going to Louisiana. I mean, I've gone to the Toledo Bend there 2 years now, and I had a good finish in the last one, so I'm placing in third. So I don't know. We'll see what it brings. I'm excited. I always enjoy it either way. It's always a great event. It's incredible, turnouts. So KBF stepping it up.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this will be our first year. We're getting excited about it, and just to prep involved, getting ready to go down, because we don't know what we're about to get into.
So you guys have never been there, huh?
No, no.
Yeah.
First time we actually got into it. Last year, James? We got hard into the kayaking tournament, so this will be our first year going down there. So.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys down there.
Yeah, we look forward.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you.
Well, Bud, I appreciate you coming on, kind of talking a little bit. Chris, do we have any questions for him before we get off? I just want to make sure. Don't see nothing on there, all right. But no, we really do appreciate you coming on, man. Congratulations on that. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank before you get off, or?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I picked up a few this year already that helped me out actually on that tournament, and that would be, well, I'm Hobie, and I've got Denali Rods, AFCO, Sunline, Nines Optics, and Wu Tungsten, and then Hooked and Tagged. So
yeah,
a lot of people helping me out this year. I'm going to need it. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling, so I appreciate all their help.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on tonight, and I'm hoping that we start having you on like we're having Cody Milton on.
I'd like that.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a good night, man, and good luck this year.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for coming on.
Yep, thank you.
All right. All right. Well, that was a good interview. He really touched, just kind of talking about Florida fishing. You know what I mean? When you think about Florida fishing, and I never even thought about Alabama rigs in Florida, to be quite honest with you. Like, that's kind of out there for me. I know they work. I know they got shad and all that, but it's just like, you think Florida, I'm thinking flipping and all that. So, but that's all. Kind of seeing the Alabama rigs. I know it wasn't great for him, but the scrounger style head, you're starting to see a lot more of that, in these tournaments and bass elites and FLW. You kind of see that anyways. You kind of see them tied on, but I've never really seen somebody do like really well in an event with them though. Like that was a difference maker for them,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but we're going to let's get, Chris, can we get the music going for 1 second? We'll take a quick break. I want to look at something with one thing on our sound. Give me about 2 minutes, and Chris is going to put some music on, and we'll be right back. Just give us about 2 minutes. All right. Getting her? All right. All right. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. My headset was like banging over here, man. I'm like, my eardrums are about to get blown out because we had everything cut up, testing some stuff. So I wanted to make sure it was actually picking back up through the mic. It was so loud. So I was like, holy crap, man. So, but anyway, sorry about that. But no, that was a great interview with Jeff Fader, and I'm really excited to see these guys down here. And James, I mean, we got some really great competition. We go down there to the national championship, man. We've had some good guys on this show that I think are going to be some dudes that are going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I'm bringing my A game now.
That's right. We got all kinds of new things that we're ready to bring on down there to old Louisiana. So,
if we can't catch them, we're going to be looking good.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, like we talked about earlier with Hookfish Performance, guys, we're going to be having we got to get our jerseys made right now. We got some wraps for our boats that's in the works right now. Can't wait to get everything together and get the pictures out and show you guys. It's just a great way to help represent our sponsors that's done so much for us. So that's what we want to kind of give back for them, and hopefully, you know, with our video in this summer, just kind of give these guys a little extra promotion. So, but promoting anyways. But anyways, James, man, I just had a brain fart. But anyways, things sound a lot better on my end, Chris. My ears are not about to pop now.
Yeah, I can hear your headset from over here.
Yeah, Chris could hear my headset from where he was at. I was like, why is the mic picking up the headset on this thing? This sounds crazy. But no, anyways, so we're going to go ahead and start trying to get Cody Milton on for the third time, which is not a bad thing. We love talking to Cody. Cody is a super positive guy, really down to earth, and just loves to talk about fishing. Every time we go to ask Cody, can you come on? It's never no, I can't do it or not. I mean, he is ready to go at any time. He loves to talk about fishing. He's very passionate about it, and it shows through how he fishes as well. So, do we have him in for a minute, Chris?
Said he was unavailable. Try him again.
All right, he's gonna try him again. If not, we'll text Cody here in just a second. Let me message him now. Make sure Skype ain't screwing up. But, James, we've been doing our research on a couple of lakes down there and for the national championship.
Yep.
Have you looked at the Red River much?
It looked muddy on Google Earth.
Yeah. It's really hard to find a good spot on the Red River down there. It doesn't seem like there's many boat ramps, and it doesn't seem like it's hard to distinguish on Google sometimes what's water and what's land because of the mud and just what it. I mean, it's really hard to tell. So I'm hoping and praying that we don't have a day on, the last day they're not going to supposedly ain't supposed to tell anybody where it's going to be at. I'm hoping that it's not where I hear rumors are. So, because I don't know. Just looking around, man, I don't know if I'm going to spend much time on that river, maybe a day or so, just see what we can kind of figure out. But, you talk to a lot of guys about the Red River, and it is a dead river. They say that river's dead. So, I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen on that? We're having a little technical issues over here, Chris.
He keeps saying he's unavailable.
All right, let me get his phone number. We'll at least call him in. All right, here you go, Chris. It's at his Skype in. Well, come here and grab my phone, buddy. We got his phone number right here.
All right.
He said his Skype's having issues tonight.
Okay. No problem.
We'll get you on, Cody. I know you're listening. Cody's a big fan of the show as well. Because he told me. That's why I know.
He just told you that.
He just told me that. He probably don't watch none of them. But we're going to have a contest coming up. James, when do we talk about starting? Let's start it. I don't know. Let's try to start it, I guess, 1st of March. No, what? Let's start it this week. Let's start it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're just going to
start one tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow evening.
Yeah, so we'll have a picture up and everything for it. It's going to be our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and all right, we get them on.
Hey guys.
Hey man, what's going on, Cody?
Hey, how you doing?
We got you, man.
Doing well. I guess my Skype's not coming through.
Well, it's all right. James was having a little bit of problem earlier today. We had to finagle some things around. We finally got it going, but yeah, no, that's not a problem, man. So how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing well. Still, so I'll just man, it's been a long week. It was a fun week up there in Florida, or down there in Florida. So
yeah,
still just taking it all in.
Man, I'm gonna start calling you Magic Man. That's what we need to start calling old Magic Milton here, because I mean, this is the third time on the show, man, and you're just killing it right now. What is the secret? Is there some special cookies that you eat like Kevin Van Dam, or what is it?
You know, I don't know. I had some banana muffins this week. I don't know if that's what it was. But that wasn't it for the whole season, so I don't know. But, no, it's been unbelievable, and it's like, you know, I mean, I can't put it on any one thing. It's kind of been, you know, anywhere we've went, it's kind of it's been something a little different. But yeah, and I heard y'all talking about it earlier. You know, everybody was throwing A-rigs this weekend, and you wouldn't think that would be the Florida ticket, but it sure seemed like it was.
Yeah, and that's what kind of just blew my mind. When you think Florida, I'm thinking now we had oh man, it just hit me. I can't remember the pro we had on that won down there in Florida a while back with crankbaits. James, you remember that show?
Yes, I can't remember.
I have a brain fart right now. I cannot think who it was, but he won the Open with crankbaits down in Florida, which was kind of odd to me. But like I say, I don't fish Florida to say, you know, that's an odd thing. But most time you hear Florida, you're thinking spinner baits, or you're thinking flipping baits, stuff like that. I mean, what made you pick up an Alabama rig and start throwing it down there?
You know, honestly, it really stemmed from last year. I went down there last year, and I only had one A-rig with me. And the thing that's unique about Bienville Plantation is it's not in Lake Purvis and Lake Thomas are a little different, but they're strip mines. They're ore mines. So they're not, 5 foot deep bowls. They're not natural lakes. They're 25 to 30 foot deep in most all at places. So, and I only had one last year, and you were marking so many fish in 18, 22, 24 foot of water. And this year, I think I went down there with like 8 different Alabama rigs. And that was like the way the weather was set up. You know, we had cold weather before with warming weather as we got there, which was a lot like 2 years ago. So it was like I felt like if it held the same as they were calling for, I felt like they were still going to truly be in wintertime patterns, and they really were. I mean, I think the first day I was out there, it was about 50, 51 degree water temperatures, and I mean the bait balls were just sticking together. There was no spawn on their mind, which it's crazy. I filmed down there on Sunday with Chad Hoover, and they were already pulling back up. If it would have been a 4-day tournament, we would have not been able to pull it off. I mean, they vacated that area on Sunday, so it was kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah, and it was tough on Saturday. They actually pulled back out to kind of the main lake, out a little more towards where Jeff Fader was fishing for the 10. So, yeah, they were moving. I mean, I would say on Friday we probably, because probably a lot of people don't know, I was Eric Siddiqui and I were he actually had found that school of fish on Wednesday, and it wasn't even necessarily a school of fish as much as it was what I believe to be the only ball of bait that was in the entire lake. Because, I mean, you're talking about a place that's 450 acres, so it wasn't that big. In cold water temperatures in Florida, the fish are that grouped up in the wintertime. So it was kind of strange. So Eric and I, the last day of the Tenvitational, which would have been Thursday, I decided I wanted to hit all the lakes. Since I was already in the 10, I wanted to check out Lake Purvis. I wanted to check out Thomas and Lake 14. So yeah, I ended up fishing Thomas on Wednesday in Lake 14, and I started with Eric on Thursday at Purvis, and he was like, dude, it's an unbelievable amount of ball of bait. Like, I'm telling you, dude, you bring your A-rigs. Like, and he didn't have any. And I was like, all right. So we get there, and I mean, first cast, I catch a triple. I mean, legitimately, First cast, I catch a triple. And he's like, dude, you got to give me one. You got to give me one. I was like, all right. So probably an hour after that, I ended up giving him one. It wasn't exactly immediately, but it was pretty close.
Yeah.
But and it was a special A rig too. I mean, obviously a lot of people in the field had Alabama rigs, but this was one from hog farmers. It was a harvester rig. Mainly the reason I have them is, being from Arkansas, we don't have any hook laws. So we were, it had 7 hooks on it, which is actually against the law. It's against the law in Florida, but it's not against the law at Bienville Plantation, being private waters. So I still kind of believe, and I hate to say that it was like a bait deal, but I kind of feel like it was. Because Eric, was right there too, and we were both slamming them together. I mean, it truly could have went either way. I just kind of, ended up getting a little more luckier, I guess.
Yeah. So kind of talk, you was talking about those baits and finding those bait fish on your ride around. I mean, how did your ride around do on that lake? I mean, did you kind of already know where you wanted to put in? Did you go around looking at any other ramps or?
So, a little bit. We actually didn't get a paddle through this year. Since the Tenvitational was on Wednesday and Thursday and the 10 was held on Friday and Saturday, they didn't give us a paddle through on Tuesday. Truly what happened was, I legitimately dumped out on that lake and, was out there with Eric because he had actually found all this bait the day before and put up about 81 inches. But what was so unique about that school of fish was they weren't relating to the bottom very much so at all. During down times of the day, they would start to relate to that 22 to 23 foot of water. But for the most part, they were actually like hanging in the bait. And the bait was generally hanging in 16 foot of water over 22. And what was weird was like the fish really weren't hanging under them. They were hanging with them. And it's like they only choose to eat them when they wanted to. And as the days went on, they did start to suck to the bottom more. I think we had one day with sun where they did suck to the bottom better, and it got where you could catch them on a Carolina rig, on a drop shot, and things of that nature. But when they were suspended, I threw a spinner. I threw a 1-ounce spinner bait a lot, just thinking like I could get a big kicker on that big, single blade. But it just really never happened. I mean, we pretty much caught every fish on that 7-hook Alabama rig. And actually, it's pretty funny. My best fish of the entire trip actually came on a flutter spoon, which I know we talked a lot about that last time.
Yeah.
I pumped a flutter spoon probably an hour on Thursday, and actually caught my 22.5 came on that flutter spoon. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty funny. There was a guy, Corey Dreyer, was right next to me, and he was like, "Have you caught anything on that thing the whole time?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And I'm pumping it, and he's like, "I think I just got one." It ended up being like that 22.5. So it was pretty funny. But other than that,
fishing in Florida.
The A-rig ruled for us. Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah, that just blows my mind with the A-rig down there. And then, like say, with the flutter spoon, you're the king on that. Which we already did an in-depth segment. Yep. So if y'all haven't checked out the last show we did with Cody Milton, make sure you go check that out because we go in depth on his flutter spoon setup and how he won. That was a big key to your AOI, right?
It truly was. Yeah, it was. I used it a little bit all around the country, but that thing in Arkansas with deep water, fish just naturally suspend a lot more than they do in shallow water, and it kills in those situations.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to have to try a little bit more this year on some of my lakes. I fish a deep lake as well, with a lot of rock and stuff like that. So that's something I'm going to probably try a little more. Because most of the time around here, you hear people using jigging spoons and stuff like that during the wintertime. But not saying that people don't during the summer, but I just don't see as many people using a spoon during the summertime around here as they would during the wintertime. So, but like I say, going to the Alabama rig and being able to do well in Florida with it is just amazing. I don't know why it's so amazing to me, but to be able to catch have a triple hookup, that's even better. Was you able to get all three of them in the boat?
I did. Yeah, they weren't. I think one of them was 17.5, but the other ones were like 16. And 15 and a quarter or something. Yeah, the picture makes them look a little bigger than they are, but they really weren't that big.
Yeah. Still, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, you're busting out a quick limit right there. You know what I mean? You get something like
absolutely. That. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I had one other double, and I think Eric had 2 or 3 different doubles, which was weird. I remember, I think it would have been Friday. I was like, man, we should really be catching more doubles out of this school than we are. And Eric was like, I can't believe you're complaining about not catching doubles. And I was like, dude, they're stacked down there. Like, they're stacked, you know. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, we had a good time. It was we're really good friends anyway, so it was nothing new for us sharing water like that. So we had a good time.
I got you, Chris. We got a question.
Yeah, Jared Eads wants to know what kind of vehicle he drives to be able to travel to all these tournaments. Gas must be crazy.
So, what kind of vehicle you drive to go all these tournaments? His gas must be crazy.
So yeah, it's pretty funny. You know, I used to drive a 2016 Crosstrek, and I got about 30 miles a gallon. But this year, I actually bought a Ford Transit 250 van. So I'm going to be rolling around in a van to all these tournaments this year.
Oh wow!
Sleeping in the back. I'm actually pulling the Hobie PA 12 in the back with a fold-out bed over top of it. It's not completely set up yet, but it's. I think it's going to be the deal, though. No more hotel rooms, no more Airbnbs. I think it's gonna work for me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and James, we went with the enclosed trailers, with the 16-footers, and granted, we still got to pull it. And it takes a little bit of gas getting them there, but like say just the kind of sleeping with all your tackle. You got everything right there. You do all your tackle. You can go and lay to bed. You go to bed. No more hotels. You don't even know what you're about to get into at a hotel sometimes.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Especially like hotels.com. I mean, you know, nearest thing's like $25. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been screwed over on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think the van's going to be the deal for me this year. But yeah, and it's, you know, and the thing is, like, I enjoy camping, but I mean, once you get to July, I mean, it gets pretty miserable as well. So
yeah,
I'm hoping to maybe get some solar panels on top. I think I've got maybe a hookup for that. So if I can get some air conditioner running in there constantly, that would be very nice.
Oh yeah, well, you get to most campsites. If you get you a plug on there, you can plug in and you can have whatever you need on the inside, you know, to run power and chargers and. Maybe a little air conditioning unit and stuff like that. So, or you can be like some of these rednecks you see where they just cut a hole and then they put the whole air conditioning unit in the side. I mean, there you go.
Yeah. That's probably more my style.
Yeah, you can do the ones that go on top of the roof. They're not too expensive.
Yeah.
I built RV.
You can't see them either, so it didn't look as bad, right?
Yeah. I build RVs, so to Dometic or Coleman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But that's the way to go. I know me and James, we traveled all last year for the Virginia Kayak Bass Challenge with the enclosed, and the cool part about it, I don't know how your van is, but you know some of these smaller kayak trailers too as well. You know, if you needed to pull your trailer behind there, or if you wanted to fold it up and put it back in your van, or like us, you know, we can put our trailers in our small kayak trailers in our trailer if we wanted to. That's what I was thinking about doing for the national championship, and I could just leave the main trailer wherever we stay at, but just being able to sleep kind of like your own, kind of like your home away from home, in your own bed.
That's true. Yeah,
that's key. So
that is true. It is.
But James, you want to do a little in depth about his Alabama rig setup?
Yeah. What rod and reel were you using for your setup for your hog farmer?
I was actually using a 7.5 GLX G Loomis heavy rod, and for me it's truly been, I think, the best. I've messed around with using extra heavy some, but the way I throw it, just kind of like almost tossing it out there like it's live bait. You don't get that like parabolic load like you do throwing a spinner bait that's half ounce or something. But I was really launching that thing this week. That rod really allowed me to move it out there. I was using the Super Duty, Lou Super Duty with 22-pound fluorocarbon from Sunline. But I don't like. It's kind of funny. I don't like the new Super Duties. So if y'all have Super Duties from 2 years ago, I'm in the market for them. I'm trying to get as many as I can. Actually, my real repair guy told me, he was like, I've got 6 of them. He was like, 2 of yours are beyond repair at this point. So I guess I really have 4. But yeah, they've been the deal for me. I truly don't like light reels. I like a flat side on all my bait casters, and I like it to be a little heavier. And that one's been great for me. I mean, you've got the cranking power. I was using an 8.3 to 1 actually, and wasn't really utilizing it on the retrieve as much as I was just once I get a fish on them. But yeah, they're great reels, and I mean G Loomis is. I know I've probably said it before on here. I have one G Loomis rod that is a current G Loomis rod, but I've probably warranted it 5 times that I've had for 11 years. I mean, their warranty program is unbelievable. So it's a good company to check out for sure.
Absolutely. What type of line and stuff were you using to throw that big?
I was using actually it was Sunline, but it was 22 pounds. And I don't think it wasn't the FC Sniper. I think it was one a little different than that. But I had 20 pound on the second day. I was using 2A rigs, so I cut the blades off of one harvester and I left the blades on the other one. But I actually ended up catching every fish that last day without blades. And it was in the back of my head. That's what I was planning on doing the entire week. If I was planning on, if I was in contention or something, I was going to cut off all the blades, be able to fish it faster and still just as deep and not have that, that kind of added, flash, I guess. Because, I mean, when you're on the same school of fish like we were, I mean, we threw that A-rig on top of them so many times. I was just trying to do anything would absolutely help. It was funny. I mean, I want to say of my 5 fish that last day, I know for a fact 3 of them came on 4-pound line. Other than that, my 2 big ones that day came on the A-rig, but the last day I was pretty much using 4-pound fluorocarbon.
Really?
Yes, sir. It was the Robo Morning Dawn. That's probably no secret at this point. So I mean,
yeah.
to me, it's like the only color they make.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
What type of graphing stuff do you use? Were you graphing those fish when you were fishing down that deep?
I was. I mean, it was especially when I got out there Thursday. I don't really. I do not think I made a. I mean, I obviously made some casts without seeing fish, but I never caught anything without seeing them. And it was mainly just because if they weren't feeding, they were in the bait. And it was just the oddest thing. They were just so dormant. I mean, they're being Florida strain. They were so, they were so kind of thrown back by that cold front that rolled through that they really weren't eating that much. I mean, you would kind of get on them every couple hours. But once you fired them up, it was on. And that's one thing that hurt us. We really only had one good day of sun. And that sun was pushing them to the bottom, which was nice because we could catch them on the drop shot and get them all feeding up. I mean, there were times I saw that group of fish in 22 foot, and there were times I saw them 4 foot under my kayak. And it was funny. Me and Eric Siddiqui were working so well together. If we ever lost them, we would just separate and we would go see which way they went. And one of us would just start pointing down, like they're right here. And then we just kind of close in and start trying to catch one to get them to feed up. But once they fed up, I mean, they weren't not going to hit that hog farmer. I mean, there was no way.
That's
crazy.
Real quick, James, what kind of jig heads? What kind of jig heads do you use on your Alabama rig? And then also, where do you put them at placement wise? Because I know some people, when I do Alabama rig, I normally put, like, if I got a five wire Alabama rig, I put my 3 heaviest jigs on the bottom. I mean, is that how you do yours as well?
So that's exactly what I was doing. I was throwing a 7, it was a 7 wire A rig. So I had 1/8 on the tops and I had 3/16 on the 4 bottoms.
Yeah.
And it truly helps. And sometimes, like, especially with rigs that are that long, sometimes if you weight them more in the front, they'll actually swim a lot straighter. So the last day I did have one that had, I think it was 3/8 I had on the front two, and then I had 3/16 on the back two, and I had 1/8 on all the top. And that's just, that was solely just because it was that rig. Like if it was a 5-hook rig, I probably wouldn't have done that, but it was it was keeping the rig swimming straighter at a slower speed, especially with no blades, because the blades do help it swim a little straighter.
Yeah. And they were just regular ball heads, right? Or were they like a fish head?
No, they were and that's funny because so I mean, I love Picasso. I use tons of things they have, but I really don't like any of their wintertime A-rigs. I like their fall-time A-rig. I think they make the best finesse type fall A-rig there is, but they definitely make the best A-rig head. I was using the Smart Mouth with no cut, like just raw color, because I was using Tennessee shad the second day, but so I was using Sightfish the first 2 days, and that was actually mainly because I was on Lake 14 in Thomas, and it was a little different watercolor than it was on Purvis. But yeah, it was I'm telling you, those heads are sticky, man. I think I've still probably got 2 little like hook marks in my fingers from taking from taking fish out the hook. So.
I got you. Do we got Chris? We got any questions?
Yeah, Jared wants to know if he would consider an AC unit on his kayak. It could be a game changer.
Using a what?
An AC unit.
Oh, I want to know if you could use an AC unit on a kayak. I think it'd be a game changer.
It would be, especially at Tennessee River in July or something.
That's funny.
Yep.
We got anything else, Chris?
That's it for now.
That's it for now. All right, James, you got any further you wanted to go in with Cody?
Not that I can think of right now. Did you have any more questions?
No, I was just going to talk. I know we talked last time about the national championship. I know we've brought this up a lot in the last couple shows, but it's coming up. You know, it's a big thing, and all that. So, I mean, have you started putting any time in, looking around at lakes and all that? I think I asked you this question last time, but I just kind of knew people listening.
Oh yeah, I think. Well, probably last time I told you I've been down there once, so I've been down there twice now. So, and I will tell you. So Shreveport's only about 3.5 hours from me, and I've one of my really good friends, Jamie Broad, lives down there, so it's worked out pretty well for me to sneak down there for a couple days. Plus the Shreveport Boat Show was down there 4 weeks ago, so I worked that and got to check out some ramps the day after that. So it was good, but. I will say this, after 2 days of being on, Bistineau, Cross, and Caddo, I'm only using one rod from what I generally use. I'm using all 6-foot APR rods, and if you're not familiar with APR rods, that's actually Chad Hoover's rod company. They're made up in kind of Northwest Arkansas and sold by Fish USA. But I'm telling you, they're going to be the deal around those cypress trees. You can leave the 7.5-foot rods at home, I think, because these little 6-foot rods they've been fun. I've got a lot of fish with them over the past month. So
yeah, I'm
using 5 6-foot rods during the national championship. I'll throw that out there now and stand by it.
Here you go.
So,
all right. Well, here's the next question. What bait and lake are you going to be fishing?
Yeah. So the last I looked, which was probably 3-4 days ago, the Red River was still, or even Caddo in general, Caddo was still 3 foot high for a normal pool. There's no telling what Red River is.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. When I was working that Shreveport Boat Show, they ran a 94 boat tournament. It was a team tournament. It was a just best 2 fish, and I think I saw. I probably saw 12 or 13 bags over 10 pounds just out of 90 people. With some of those being on Bistineau, some of those being on Cross, some of those being on Caddo. So I'm gonna, I'm actually taking the whole week off, so I'm planning on being down there that entire week. But it's gonna be a toss-up. Water level is gonna be everything. And And I feel like one thing people have kind of wrote off is they're like, you know, the Red River, the Dead River, the Dead Sea. I've heard it called a lot of things. But one thing that's really unique about the Red River is there's not that many places the fish can spawn. So that time of the year, the fish are going to be very, you know, they're going to be very located on the few places they can have a substantial spawn. So, you know, I may even look there a little bit. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
Cross is going to be nice for people because it's got really steep banks. So if the water is 3 to 4 foot high, it's going to be a little easier to access the bank. But from there, I don't know. Like, I was reading something about Cross Lake not all that long ago that was saying just even at normal pool, you know, only like, I think there's like 12 or 13% of the lake that's unfishable just because you can't get through the cypresses to get to the bank. Which you start talking about a spawn tournament like we have coming up at the end of March, you know, that's a pretty bad thing because a lot of the fish are going to be spawning in places that you can't even you can't get a kayak, much less a boat. So that's going to be kind of interesting, you know, in and of itself. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I said this the other day. I think I think this is the best repeat national champion we could have. I think Dwayne Taft's got as good a chance as anybody to win this tournament. So yeah, he knows a lot of people around that area. He's an East Texas guy, so I'm putting the pressure on Dwayne to win it again.
What was the water temp when you went down there, if you don't mind me asking?
So the first time, I don't remember what I went. I mean, it was, you know, 52, I want to say. It averaged about the same in about a 2-month period. I've regularly talked to someone that's down there, and they said it was like 56. I want to say it was 2 days ago. They did get hit with some sleet. I guess they got hit with sleet 2 days ago, and 3 days ago it was about 56 on Friday. So they killed them on Friday, and I actually personally know of a 10-pounder that got caught there on Saturday, which was after the cold front hit. So, I mean, they're down there. And then that's the thing. I mean, you talk about a lake that is like 12% of the lake you can't even fish. That's the reason there's 14 and 15 and 16-pounders down there. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. I mean, and all those places are so unique. I mean, hey, Bistineau and Caddo are so similar, and Cross has so many different docks. And Cypress Black is really pretty much just like Caddo and Bistineau. It's more of that Florida tannic water, I guess you could say. So, but yeah, I've been putting in a little bit of time. The team challenge has got me kind of wanting to do a little better than I would probably, you know, or at least put a little more time in than I usually would, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Chris, you said we have a question?
Yeah, Jared wants to know what his favorite food to bring to get through a full day of fishing a tournament.
So how do you eat much during the tournament? He wants to know what your favorite food is to get you through a full day of tournament.
So main rule, I've never eaten a bite before I have 5 fish. That's the main thing.
Damn, I'd love to starve.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, there's been some brutal days for sure. But no, I generally, it's kind of one of those things like I want to feel like I've casted more than anybody else has, and it's, you know, if I feel comfortable enough to be able to eat, then I probably will. I mean, I always have, you know, peanuts, you know, generally some nuts of some form, but no, I really don't eat much. One thing I've really relied on the past 2 years is tailwind. It's actually made for marathon runners and adventure races, but it's got a bunch of caffeine, a bunch of potassium and magnesium. It's kind of, I mean, it definitely stimulates you a little bit and it refuels you in a lot of other ways. So I've used that a bunch over the past few years. Most all my water bottles, usually I do 2 to 1 with tailwind and regular water. So, but yeah, that's been one big thing for me is tailwind for sure.
Yeah, it's always key to, you know, just talking when we talk to elite pros and all that, how, you know, how important it is to get your nutrients while out on the water, because you'd actually be surprised at how much better you feel if you eat right through the day fishing, and when you come off the water, you still feel like you got energy, and mentally wise, you're a lot better too, because now you're not worrying about being hungry or you're not getting shaky or dehydrated, and you're making the thought processes a lot clearer when you're healthy. So out on the lake. So
yeah. That is true.
But James, you got any more questions for Cody before we let him go, bud?
Unless he can tell me exactly what I need to be using down there at the national championship. But other than that, but yeah, I just can't wait to get down there.
Yeah.
The jackhammer. That's what I'm saying. Throw the jackhammer.
There's going to be a ton of people throwing it.
On anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be
I mainly say that because I feel like 95% of the people in the field will be throwing a jackhammer.
Oh yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Well, Cody, I appreciate you coming on, man. Congratulations to you, and I know we'll probably have you on again. I
hope so. I enjoy it.
I see you doing well again this year, and whatever lucky cookies you're eating again on the lake or whatever. Keep it up, man. And I'd like to get some of them from you down at National Championship.
I'll sell you one or two.
All right, Cody. Well, you have a good night, man, and we look forward to seeing you, bud.
Y'all have a good night.
You too, bud.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
It's always good having Cody on. Like I say, like I said earlier, before we had Cody on, he's a very positive guy. Always fun to talk to, and he loves to put information out there. So it kind of helped. I mean, if you're fishing national championship and you didn't catch what a lot he was talking about with the lakes, some stuff I wish you wouldn't have said. But, but I do appreciate it, though. Like, just kind of – there's going to be a lot of guys that made the national championship, because we've talked about this in other shows before, that might not be big into the tournament series yet. You know what I mean? They're still learning. They just happened to make it. Had a couple lucky breaks and was able to get in there. So there's a lot of good information that was put in this show by Cody and Jeff. We want to thank both of you guys for coming on. Y'all both great guests, and always welcome to come on again. Chris, did something else come up right there?
Oh no, this is Bass Cat Little Dave thanking Cody for a good show.
Oh, okay. And but yeah, I mean, it was a good interview. I'm looking forward just to getting down there, James. I'm really just now listening to Cody talking about it.
It's some big fish down there.
It's some big old
fishing. I don't care which lake you're fishing. You got a chance to come away with your personal best. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and like I say, just some videos I've watched with stuff from all around that area and how well the fishing is, and I'm just looking forward to getting down there. I know we got some baits that me and you've been talking to people down there to try out, and we got some more coming in. I'm just excited to get down there and start doing some fishing.
Oh, I can't wait to pull the hog out of there.
Yeah. And it's going to be tough not setting a hook through practice. You know what I mean? I mean, every once in a while you got to, but gosh, dog almighty, especially it could have been a 10-pounder that bit that line. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, but you want to catch that 10-pounder during tournament day.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So, and I know it ain't all.
We're going to go to one lake and just whack them. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, one of the lakes we ain't going to fish. We're just going to go up there and just start destroying. Watch us catch some big old ones, and we're like, maybe we should come fish this lake instead. And we done caught everything, but
yeah.
But guys, I got my video coming up. It's going to be ready for tomorrow for the Accucoil hog leash. Well, shoot, I can't even think of the daggone name of it right now. I'm having a brain fart. Fish tether. I'm sorry. And but I'll have that up. That'll be ready for in the morning. We got some other videos in the works. Like I said, we've talked about it. And now that things are starting to kind of get to a point where we can start taking care of videos. I'm going to do a breakdown on the old Yak Attack Nocqua battery. And then, James, you got one that you're going to be working on with Biono Power.
Yep. And then we got a couple instructional videos on how we did some stuff that when you come down this weekend, we're going to shoot too.
Yeah. So we got some good stuff lined up. So, but anyways, James, I don't really have nothing. Oh, Chris, let's get the hat up here real quick. We got to show that hat again. Got to show that hat. There we go. Go to OneObjectiveBF.com. Go to our store, and you'll see our hat there. James, you got some of the keel protectors there. We're starting to get a lot of these orders in right now, guys. If you want to protect your investment, a like I said, they're great for just like you coming into boat ramps or you're coming up into some good rocky spots where you just want to pull the front of your boat up in. Then you got to worry about gouging your boat all to pieces. It's just a little extra added protection. It ain't that expensive. So go on OneObjectiveBF.com and check it out and get you that. So, James, we got the Bassmaster Classic coming up. That we ain't got far from that. So
nope.
we'll probably be flooding our YouTube channel with videos from the pros. Guys, this is going to be a key time to really watch these videos. It's a lot of guys. This is going to be their last classic.
Absolutely.
They went over to the Bass Pro Tour, which I thought because we didn't do a show last week. I thought the Bass Pro Tour did a really great job on coverage of that event. It was really fun to watch Jordan Lee win this thing. You know, he had a time where he barely made it in. And then if you go back and you watch any of the Major League Fishing, man, Jordan Lee is just a hammer, and I think you're watching history right here. He's going to be the next Kevin Van Dam, in my opinion. I think he's going to be the next Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah, because I mean, he just won the Major League Fishing thing that aired yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
spoiler alert.
It's just, well, yeah. Sorry, guys, I just ruined it for you. But sorry, everybody.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I've watched it twice already today, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love watching people catch fish.
Yeah.
If I'm not catching them, I would just rather see somebody else catching them, and that's exactly why we do this show.
Yeah. And you know, the cool part about the Bass Pro Tour, you know, everybody says it's going to be a dink fest. Yeah, there was a lot of small fish caught. But these guys had some practice. But you got to figure, man, the weather changed so much down there, you know. They get up 15-minute break between, or 10-minute break, whatever it is, between each period. There's some strategy involved because if you got a week practice and you're looking for an area where you can just get 5 big bites, that's going to make for kind of a boring show when you're doing live coverage the whole time. And you can fall back really quick because you think about it. Today, John Cruz had 32 pounds out of 5 big fish. Well, that would not have cut it in an average day of the Bass Pro Tour. It would have helped him, you know what I mean? But now, granted, he probably caught more fish, also small ones and all that he could have used, and had a good limit with it. But you just think about it. I mean, 5 fish ain't really going to do you much in that tour. So it was just really cool to see it all go down. And then Bassmasters, they did a really great job on their live coverage this week, and just to be able to go back and watch and see all those big fish caught. It was just unbelievable to watch the amount of big fish that were caught. Them fish are pulling up, spawning, and it is big mamas everywhere on the bank.
Yeah, as we speak, they're pulling up. They will be pulling up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day to be out there.
Yeah. So it just blew my mind about that. So we worked on trying to get Jordan Lee on. He's busy because they're going to start the Bass Pro Tour practice tomorrow. It was either today or tomorrow. I can't remember. So he's really busy on that. So we'll try to get him on. We're going to get him on and talk about MLF and the Bass Pro Tour. And this is going to be his last classic he's going to fish. Not to say that he won't get out of that and go back to Bass. I don't know. But right now he's at Bass Pro Tour. So, but like I was getting back to, this is going to be a last event for a lot of big names. So it's going to be some great coverage. But you're also going to see some new names that become great names as the years go on, you know. So it's just exciting time for the fishing industry. I know I see so much of people complaining about the Bass Pro Tour, and so much of the complaints about the Bass Elites that there's no big names in there. Man, some of these guys, Fat Cat Newton said it best, everybody was a nobody at first. And they made something of themselves in the tour, and they become somebody. So you got a lot of these guys that you say they're nobodies, that they're going to be somebody, you know. It was some big names. I mean, it was some big names in the top 10, but there was also some guys that was their first year that was in the top 10 this year in this event. So, like I say, stay tuned. It's going to be a great season, and I'm looking forward to the 2019 Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So, but guys, I don't have nothing else to add. I'm done talking. You know me, I love talk, so I'm done talking. I hope that everybody enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit the like button. And please subscribe. And like I say, I will be posting the new contest tomorrow. It's going to be like our page on Facebook and subscribe to our channel. We'll have a link to our channel in the contest and a picture of the prize pack that you'll be winning. So we'll get all that together, have it up for you guys tomorrow night. And please share it when you see it. Guys, y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.